you're going to hear yourself say the question so that you know what the question is, and then you're going to hear yourself answering. It's just, you're going to learn it like a song. All right, so I have that up, and I'm just going to say just what I see. All right, question number 1. What will be your report to dispatch and other arriving units? This is how I'll answer question 1 at this time. Using the 4 steps to establish command according to the incident management system, I will use 4 steps to establish command. Step 1, give a rolling size up. Step 2, establishing command. Step 3, making an incident action plan. And Step 4, communicating strategies, tasks, and tactics to the units I brought to the scene. I will establish command using the standard operating procedures and the incident management system to ensure organization, safety, and accountability at this incident. All members are donning personal protective equipment and will adhere to the riding list and tagging system for accountability purposes. Step 1, give a rolling size up. This is accomplished while en route. I will review pre-fire plans, target hazard reports, standard operating guidelines, and I will use information from the computer-aided dispatch to give a rolling size up. This is a brief initial report, a windshield report of what I see as I approach the scene and before I actually leave the apparatus. The rolling size up may not be entirely accurate, and it may be revised as I assess the emergency. It includes as a minimum the following information: occupancy, size, construction type, conditions found upon arrival, resources I will need to address this situation, and I will have to take actions according to LIPS and RECI-OVS. It's important for you to know these acronyms, right? LIPS, Life Safety, Incident Stabilization, Property Conservation, Continuity of Community, and rescue exposures, controlling and confined fire, overhaul. They're addressed down here.
Right, salvage.
Right. So you're going to locate, find, extinguish all fires, blah, 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 but you're not going to say that right now. Because first you're going to tell them how you're going to establish command. So in step 2, establish command, I will give my situational status report to dispatch, and it will be as follows. It will communicate clearly and concisely what we have, what we're doing, what we need, and what our progress is. Are conditions on the fireground getting better or worse? This will keep incoming users informed about what to expect as they arrive on the scene, according to Colwood's Wealth. This will be accomplished by stating the following during my size-up. Unit designation, Engine 28 on the scene. Command location, on the scene, 259 North 10th Street, establishing command. Construction, it's a 2-story wood frame building, occupied. Location, extending fire wherever they tell you it is. Rescue problem, whatever they tell you it is. Auxiliary appliances, you address that. If it's standpipes, if it's special apparatus that you have to bring to the scene, address it here. Attack mode selected, will it be offensive, defensive, or transitional? Command mode selected, will it be a command mode, will it be attack mode, or will it be a combination of the two? And additional resources I will need a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th alarms. I will need a staging officer to stage companies level 2, 2 blocks away, the units that I am not putting to work. But the ones I am putting to work, I'll address them later. Also, other resources I will need at the scene to fight this incident are the utility companies for gas, electric, and water. I will need an initial RIT team and a backup RIT team in place to ensure the safety of the firefighters working at this incident. I will need an accountability officer and the accountability in place. There will be no freelancing. I'll need a safety officer to keep the firefighters out of danger areas. I will need an operations officer for the direct management tactics of operations area. I will need police for crowd and traffic control. I will need EMS for triage, treatment, and transport. I will need a victim tracking coordinator and unit for any displaced victims on the scene to find out where they went. If they got hurt, they're not going to go to the deputy to ask them where they are. You're going to go to the tracking coordinator. He'll be able to tell them what hospitals they went to, where they are, whether they're up the street in the bus. Rehab officer and a rehab unit. I will need a water supply manager, an incident information officer. I'll need arson or a fire marshal for cause and determination of the fire. If it's at night, I'll need a lighting unit. If it's on the highway, I need a DOT. I need USAR. This is waste management. This is in case of cold conditions, they bring salt. Cascade unit, fill bottles and air and water for the firemen. Hazmat, Coast Guard, Red Cross, any other resources will be identified here before you go into your step 3, creating an incident action plan. In this part, step 3, I will give instruction to the responding units. I will include tactical objectives and task assignments setting strategic goals according to REC-OVS to establish what needs to be done to achieve the incident priorities at this incident, which are always life safety, incident stabilization, property conservation, and continuity of community. The incident action plan. This is the overall direction of the incident. It includes strategy, tactics, priorities, resources needed, and outcomes. It includes a plan A and a plan B. I have to do a risk versus gains assessment. And then my incident priorities, life safety of the firefighters, occupants, other emergency workers, and bystanders. I will announce the location of the fire and the size of the fire and the rescue problem, ASAP. Incident stabilization by establishing priorities, locate, confine, and extinguish all fires, and protect egress and exposures. P. Property conservation by setting strategic goals according to REC-OVS. REC-OVS is R. Rescue all occupants. E. Exposures. C. Confirm and confine the fire. E. Extinguish all fires. O. Overhaul. V. Ventilate, vent, enter, search, and salvage. And when you address entering, make sure you address forcible entering, because I entered when I did mine and I never forced entry. They took a point away because I didn't say force entry. I just went and made the save. So it's very important that you say those things. And then step 4, I will communicate strategies, tasks, and tactics to the units and resources that I brought to the scene. So if I brought them to the scene, I'm going to tell you what they're doing. Okay? And this is according to the NFPA 1021, Chapter 4.6.2. I will implement an action plan given available resources, type of incident, and preliminary plan. That's what I just showed you. I'm just telling you that's what I'm doing now. I will give assignments to other incoming crews. I will give assignments to mutual aid and auto response companies. I will assign people to incident management system roles. I will ask for progress reports from sector officers. I will give periodic updates to dispatch. Tactical objectives. Number 1, tactical objectives direct operational activities. The accumulated achievement of tactical objectives should accomplish the strategic goals. So I'm just putting everything that we just talked about into effect here. They're just telling me that this is what I'm doing. Task assignments refer to the specific activities that are accomplished by company personnel. Task assignments are details of how the work will be done. This just means I'm going to be telling the companies what to do. All right? So I will inform the companies of the rescue problem. Engine company number 1 will secure a water supply. They will perform an offensive, aggressive interior attack. They will locate, confine, and extinguish the fire. And then in this blank space, I tell them what type of hose line they're selecting, where they're stretching the hose to, and they're getting it between the stairs and the rescue. Okay? They're protecting the stairs. The first do truck, primary search and rescue of all fire areas, and second floor. This is going to identify where you're going to go by where they're telling you the fire is. Again, scenario specific in the blank spaces. Second do engine company, this is what they do. Right, second do engine, backup engine 1, protect egress and assist truck 1 in rescue operations. They can allocate some of their members to make sure that the rescue gets all the victims out in a timely manner. Second do truck, horizontal and vertical ventilation. Ladder, second floor for egress, and overhaul and salvage. All right. Did I say secondary search? I didn't say. They take care of the secondary search. I got to write that in my answer. Third do engine company secures water supply, protects exterior exposures or interior exposures depending on how big the building is. And then fourth do engine company, they're also for protection, and they can give a backup line to the RIT team. You're probably going to need more engine companies for the bigger operations. If you bring them there, you're going to tell them what they do. And your extra companies.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the first company place a ladder.
Yes.
Egress?
Yes, you would.
Okay.
You would. Everybody's going to be placing ladders for you. You're going to ladder the whole fucking building.
Right.
Excuse my language.
Right.
Now,
okay.
but yes, right. So you just going to develop that, put that in there as well. Now, after I do that, remember before I said I use this as a checklist.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that I said all these things, so I can either say, now to make sure that I covered everything, I'm going to, in summary, I addressed structural integrity of the building. I identified the command. I established command. I made the proper size up. all apparatus were available to me in a timely manner because I staged companies. I developed proper strategies and I implemented them in my incident action plan. My units executed tactics that were ordered by me. I used standard operating procedures. There was a risk versus gains applied. I mentioned it. I told you I'm going to keep my firemen safe according to that. I used sectors appropriately to the incident type and complexity. There was a RIT team established, and there was a backup RIT team established. Safety officer was designated, and I conducted the size up, and it was ongoing. And I developed a rehab sector. So yes, I hit all 15 of these points. Now, critical factors of the incident management system. Did I hit these? Did I establish command? Yes. Risk versus gains? Yes. Well-designed strategic options? Scenario specific? Yes. Standard operating procedures according to building construction type? Yes. Effective training, pre-fire plans, target hazard reports, post-incident evaluations, standard operating procedures, all of them were addressed. Proper personal protect? Yes. Effective incident management system? Yes. Effective communications? Yes. Safety officer and procedures? Yes. Accountability and PAR, riding list tagging? Yes. RIT? Yes. Adequate resources? Yes. Rest and rehab unit? Yes. Ongoing size up and reevaluation of conditions? Yes. And pessimistic evaluation of situation? High? Yes. This is how I'll answer question 1 at this time.
All right, no problem.
And then you're done.
You got tomatoes and you got
11 minutes.